Okay, I'm nearly at the end of this book. There are still few games by Grandmaster Palatnik. What I got from these games I saw is that the isolated queen pawn, if pushed, can really become a danger. What I also understood is that Grandmaster like Palatnik have made a perfection of transition from opening to middle game into the end game that they know how to win, okay? So this is what I honestly got from this book. I didn't get any idea on how to improve my position. To me, many of the games by Palatnik were just games that he knew the opening. It was a pet opening that he plays over and over and over, and he knows perfectly well in which endgame is gonna be and how to win it, because he played it continuously probably in his life. So that's what I got from these games. Maybe I'm wrong, so you will correct me, and I honestly I'm happy to be corrected. The next game we are watching is Palatnik Krinčk, Yugoslavia 1976, when Yugoslavia existed. Now it doesn't exist anymore. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5. So this is a Grunfeld, right? g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, knight b6, knight f3, castle, castle, knight c6, d5, knight b4, e4, c6. Queen b3, knight a6, rook d1, c takes d5, e takes d5. And again, we have a formation with the isolated queen pawn, right? Like we have seen many games. Bishop f5, bishop e3, rook c8, bishop d4, knight c5, oops, queen b4, knight a6, queen b3, knight c5, queen b5. The last few moves were simply a check of black's passive mood. That's what he says. Knight e4, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and knight d4, attacking this, bishop d7, queen e2, knight takes c3, b takes c3, and now there is bishop a4, queen e5, king g8, rook e1, rook c7, queen g5, king h8. So probably this was the next move, huh? So let's just be clear about that. And here there is a diagram. Almost unnoticed, the bishop on g7, black's main defensive hope in Grunfeld defense, has gone away. To be more precise, with its departure, the dark square weaknesses around the king became more evident. So how does Palatnik continue the attack? You are white, pause the video and try to find out how you would continue, okay? h4, Boom. One must be able to fully know the soul of each of its pawns. Queen d6, h5, Queen f6, Queen h6, this is a checkmate, Queen g7, Queen f4, obviously you don't want to exchange the queens when you're attacking, Rook takes e3, and now you should also pause the video and find out what is white next move. It's particularly interesting as a move. d6. The pawn advances forward like a camel through the eye of a needle. Well, I don't think this is the right analogy, but why it was advanced, that's why I think this book is kind of interesting. I mean, how did White realize this move? Because it couldn't protect it. What is the goal, right, of this move? That's, I think, what we should understand. So, it seems that this move was played because if you play this, oops, and the queen is trapped, he says. Because if you play this, it is checkmate to the next, right? So you cannot play this, and so this is a great move, right? But we should have seen this possibility that the queen is trapped. If you don't see that, you don't understand why this is a good move. So that's great. Rook d3 was played in the game, d takes c7, and again we have a pass pawn, isolated pass pawn that has become practically a queen. Rook e8, here there is another diagram, but I think the game is practically finished at this point, because when you have a pawn on e7 and you have to use 5 to stop 1, it's terrible, right? h6, queen takes d4, queen takes f7, rook g8, boom, queen. That's why you should have a chess set that always have double queens, right? And now bishop takes e8, rook takes e8, and the game is over. Unfortunately, if he takes, it's checkmate. What can he do? I don't know. If he plays something like this, checkmate, so the game is over. Apart that you cannot really play it, but just to give you an idea, I don't know. If you play rook d1, he escapes. So nothing, there is nothing that black can do to avoid the checkmate. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this other game from Palatnik. As you can see, we continue to see how the isolated queen pawn must become a passer in order to win the game. So it's not a question of getting some advantages and improving the position, is to find the moment when you are able to push the isolated queen pawn that makes you win, because it becomes a passer. That's, in my opinion, what's going on here.